This year, how about doing the same for yourself? Let Pack Mail take care of all your holiday packing and shipping, so you can enjoy a little peace and joy too. Just one stop packs up and ships out all your holiday joy to the world, delivering on time and intact. Now how's that for wrapping up your holiday hassles? Stop by Pack Mail today, 303 Southeast 17th Street in Churchill Square, Ocala.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com, Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Mayhem is on the menu at Ocala Civic Theater with the hilarious comedy Kitchen Witches, live on stage now through November 29th. When the local cable station decides to combine two cooking shows to improve ratings, it turns out to be a recipe for disaster. The two divas have been longtime rivals, and the young producer tries to keep the show from bubbling over. For tickets, call Ocala Civic Theater at 352-236-2274 or buy online at OcalaCivicTheater.com. Cook up the laughs with Kitchen Witches.
From beautiful townhomes to equestrian estates, Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club provides the perfect haven of elegance for any homeowner. Not to mention our championship golf course, award-winning tennis program, state-of-the-art spa, and new luxury equestrian suite. We offer an array of membership options to suit a variety of lifestyles. Call 352-369-6969 today for more information about our latest real estate offerings.
All right, 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. You know, when we think about who we want to be governing us, we try to imagine somebody who is really, really good with finances because it's all about the money, isn't it?
Yes.
And then you hear about a tax and you say, no, it's not about that. It's about being safe. It's about having a strong defense, right?
Yes.
Well, the truth is, it's about both of those things. You can't have a good defense without a good budget. And you can't have any of those things if the people you elect aren't competent. You have to have competence in office. And we have a gentleman on the phone who I'm not campaigning for him. I was just reading some stuff about him. I don't really know the guy we're going to speak to, Todd Wilcox. But the little I do know, because we were just introduced to him, I thought, wow, then this is a guy I think I can get behind. So I'll prematurely tell you, so far, so good. Testing the waters, right? He is a former Special Forces commander. Hello? Does that tell you anything? He's a decorated combat veteran, thank you, a CIA case officer. He's the president and founder of the Patriot Defense Group, which is a defense contracting company, I think. He's running as a Republican for the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by Marco Rubio.
Yes.
And he's in Ocala today, or will be anyway.
Yep.
This afternoon at 5:30, he'll be at the Gateway Bank. Many of you know that's the big, beautiful bank right across from Life South.
Yes.
Just kitty corner, so across and over from Life South on Silver Springs Boulevard. Todd Wilcox. Good morning, Todd.
Morning, Larry. How are you?
Good. Are you in Ocala right now?
No, sir. I'm in Orlando.
Well, thank you for being on the air with us. Is this the first time you're running for office?
It is. I've never held public office before, and I'm not a lawyer, so that makes me different from all the other candidates right there.
Yeah, and my opening, I hope it resonated with you, because I think we as Americans, we want people, A, who can do what you've already done, which is be a strong military person, not a warmonger, just a strong defense.
Yes.
Right.
I hate when people call me a warmonger just because I think we need a strong defense. And the other part of it is, you know, somebody who can handle finances. And it says here, you were the president and founder of the Patriot Defense Group. There must have been money involved with that.
Yeah, there is. I mean, your opening is perfect segue into what my message has been. We need to elect people with real world experience. And you said competence in office, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna use that phrase as I hit the campaign trail, because it smacks of exactly what we need. I think we can all recognize we are fed up with career politicians, literally on both sides of the aisle. I'm running because I desperately think we need to return to a citizen government, which is what our founding fathers envisioned, and elect people with real-world experience and get away from this notion of unintended consequences. We get unintended consequences because the people we elect who formulate the policies that we have to live under have no real-world experience. They don't understand the implications of their actions most of the time. And so that's the narrative, and your opening was a perfect segue to that.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Tampa. I was one of 6 kids in a really poor family, raised by a single mom. Learned pretty quickly that I needed to break out of poverty through education. Got an ROTC scholarship to the University of Tampa. Got commissioned into the U.S. Army as a regular Army officer, and into the infantry. After Ranger School, I went to the 101st Airborne Division.
Wow.
Went on to serve as a infantry rifle platoon leader in Desert Storm. Then when I came back, I volunteered for Special Forces, earned my Green Beret, and commanded a Special Forces A team in East Asia. And then in '97, I resigned as a major and joined the CIA. And after 2 years of Arabic studies, I was posted to the Middle East just prior to the war on terrorism getting started.
So no, just stop. Let me stop you right there.
Sure.
I am nowhere near as accomplished as you. But just let me put myself in the seat of the hiring person, because I'm a voter.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So if I'm hiring somebody, don't I stop him right there and say, okay, you get the job? I mean, do I need to hear any more?
Right.
I mean, obviously we do, because there's going to be a campaign and there will be people challenging you, etc. But I mean, if you're hiring somebody, that's what you want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's a little more, Larry. That talks to the national security expertise, and I also sit on the board of RAND Corporation. It's a nonprofit, nonpartisan think tank for the Center for Middle East Public Policy and one of the war colleges. But that just speaks to my national security bona fides or credibility. There's a little bit more. In 2006, I resigned from the from government service, and started the first of 3 businesses. And over the last 10 years, I've grown them to 600 jobs and been highly successful in creating businesses. So what contrasts me from the other candidates in the primary process on the economy is that I've grown businesses, I've put people to work, I've signed the front of a paycheck, not just the back of a paycheck. And so there's a big contrast there. I understand the implications of massive amounts of debt, and we have some serious problems in our economy. And I really think that people are starting to recognize that we need to elect people who understand how the economy works. And so, yeah, I mean, that's
right. And those are the 2 things I think we should be looking for: somebody who can handle the finances, and somebody who understands the need for a strong defense. Simple as that. I mean, I'm sure you're not a warmonger. Most military people are not.
No.
No, I can tell you, having seen combat twice in my life, it's the darkest side of human nature. It's not something that anybody should aspire to. But there are things worth fighting for, and America is certainly falls in that category.
You know what's interesting about the situation in Paris? The governor of the state and of several states has said, "Look, we don't want any Syrian refugees here." Okay. The 2 senators, Rubio and Nelson, have not said one way or the other.
No.
They've kind of been silent about it. I know you're not running against either one of them, but it's just that, I mean, they should be saying they're in a federal position representing this state.
Yeah, frankly, I mean, I don't know how much you're. I'm sure you are a very politically astute person, and you're watching what's going on. I fear we're moving into a post-constitutional era. I mean, the checks and balances enumerated in the Constitution have almost dissolved.
We've been
Congress is nearly irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, right. I know.
Power of the purse.
Yeah, when you talk to radio hosts, pretty much they're on that same page. They pretty much know. We all pretty much know that the Constitution pretty much has been disregarded for the last
7 years. Yeah.
Well, even longer than that.
Yeah.
Even longer than that.
And at this point, the federal government is so large and spends so much money. I mean, it exists almost in every aspect of our life as a caregiver. I mean, college education affordable to all, dispensing subsidized health care, housing, mortgages, student loans, food in form of food stamps. More people are on food stamps now than when the president took office. They're even giving out free cell phones, free birth control to young women who want it. it's as if that the hard left progressive movement wants to provide cradle to grave care, and that's a dangerous aspect.
Yeah, that gives us no incentive at all to work for ourselves.
Well, not only that, the political process is going to be further eroded by career politicians on both sides of the aisle when we get to the point, and we're almost there, where more people are paying taxes than are receiving entitlements and benefits and dispensation. I mean, we've got 322 million people in America. Only 119 million are paying any federal income tax.
By the way,
why would the rest of them vote for anybody else except the guy that says he's going to keep giving you money that we can't afford? I mean, people are talking about the national debt, which will be $20 trillion by the time this president's out of office. Nobody's talking about the greatest fiscal challenge to our economy, and that is the unfunded liabilities that are sitting on the government's balance sheet in the form of Social Security obligations, Medicare, and future retirement benefits for federal employees. That's somewhere between $65 trillion and $120 trillion, depending on whose estimations you listen to. And nobody's talking about that.
And you have such a nice balance, sir, between strength, but you also have the love as a caring human being, because you've got a wife, you have children, and you are their guide as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, my family, I'm pretty passionate about my family, obviously. I think most of us are. I was a single parent as well for 6 years, my two older daughters, before I married Christine, and then we had a third child. I take my family very, very seriously. And, I go back to this notion that I keep hearing from the left that it takes a village to raise a family. It takes a mother and a father to raise a child, not a village. The village is government, and government doesn't do anything right.
Exactly.
Todd, you're with some good people. I don't want to name the people that we know, who you know.
Right, exactly.
But we know that they are good people. So,
very good.
I mean, you came well recommended for this little slot here this morning.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad we could find a spot for you, because we were, quite frankly, all booked up this morning. So I'm glad we were able to put.
Time. I appreciate that.
But you will be in Ocala today. Anybody who wants to go meet you, do we need an invitation, or do I just invite everybody?
No, anybody can come. At the Gateway Bank at 5:30. You gave the location there. I think they're right there in the middle of Ocala. I've put $500,000 of my own money into this race. I mean, that should show you how much skin I have in the game and how passionate I am about holding the line and keeping the Senate and the Republican Party. I think that aspect is crucial to our future. But I can't do this alone. And so tonight's a fundraiser. You don't have to bring money, but come out, meet me. I take all.
There's
questions.
a vault in that building.
That's right.
Just thought I'd point that out. Just thought I'd point that out.
But
Todd,
yeah, we'd love to have anybody come out, and if you like what you hear, I'd encourage you to get behind us, support us both financially and with helping us spread the word.
Todd, thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for having the courage to put your name on the line and having us consider you as our next senator. And everybody else, go meet Todd today in Ocala, 5:30 at the Gateway Bank on Silver Springs Boulevard, 1632 East Silver Springs Boulevard, right across from Life South. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Russia now announcing it was a homemade bomb which blew apart the Metrojet passenger plane over Egypt more than 2 weeks ago. Moscow offering $50 million for information. Secretary of State John Kerry pushing back against critics who say President Obama's not doing enough to fight ISIS.
Daesh's days are